still have 7 sections to go. So what next? Well, I have chosen, and I'll just fold this back up. This is the section I did, section 1. I am going to do the section right below it because it has a continuation of some of the same buildings. Since I figured out patterns and stuff on those buildings, I thought I may as well take advantage of it. So I need to figure out what bag that is. Go to my book here. That is, we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. So that is bag number E. So I will need to find bag number E. This is a little tricky because the lettering is not huge on them. And it's a bit tricky to find. This is bag number G. So we can safely put that back in the box. This one is bag number E. That's the bag we want. Do I recognize any of the pieces? Yes, I do. Okay, so doesn't matter what the others are. We can place them all back in. Everything should fit now that we're, even though I have pieces in the bottom, but as we are 2 bags less, shouldn't be any issue putting everything back. And everything goes back just fine. All right, we're gonna keep this out. This, do I need, yeah, we'll keep this paperwork out this time. So now, let's put this back again. Put it on the back table. And we are now ready to start. Oh, you can see the Ravensburger puzzle dust there already. So what I'm going to do, when I did the first section, I dumped it out, and then I had to deal with quite a bit of puzzle dust. So what I'm going to do with this one is just dump it straight into this box. Okay, and we will just put all of the pieces right into here. This way, hopefully I can, since I have to do a full sort, this way I can deal with this straight off. And then the puzzle dust should remain in the box as opposed to on my table. Oh, quite a few pieces put together in a few places. Oh my goodness, I'll have to break those apart. All right, so now we need to make sure we store the bags. Put this together with the first one. Very important that I keep these. There we go. And that can go up there. All right. Oh, got rid of that dust. Okay, so here we are. We are going to be doing this section right here, the bottom of section 1 here, and now section 5 right below it. Reason being is, as I mentioned, the continuation of some of the other buildings. So I'm going to start my sorting, get some things organized and stuff. We'll start the timer and see how long this section takes us to do. Okay, I got all my sorting done. Look at this. This is why I didn't dump it out on the table like I did last time. I love Ravensburger puzzles. I love how well they fit, but just not a big fan of the dust. But that's an issue that pretty much anybody who does a Ravensburger seems to have the same sort of complaint about it. So what have we got? Let's take a look here. Oh, got two pieces there stuck somewhere. Where do they go? One there, one there. Okay. All right. So what I've got is this bucket here is what I assume to be this building here. It's a large bucket. This one here is the bottom part, the darker shades on this building. This bucket here is this side here, and this one here with the yellows is here. This is my miscellaneous bucket, which will be a lot of the stuff here in the middle. This one here is the black and so forth of this middle building. Then I have a few small buckets here. This one is edge pieces. This one is pieces I recognized off of this building here and these buildings here from doing the previous section. So I thought, as I saw them, I thought I'd pull them out as well. Then I have my bucket of black frame pieces, and as I did last time, ones with black frame and building pieces, sort of edge of frame pieces. So seeing that those will be probably along the top edge, I thought a good idea to save those and pull those apart, pull those out. So that's where we're at. So now I have to clean this baby out and get rid of that dust, but I think we are going to start with this. Well, probably I'll start with the edge first, and then we'll move into this. I'm going to do the edge, which will take me down here and across the bottom. Then I'm going to work on this yellow bucket, and then possibly into this one here, which will here, so which could hopefully connect this together, and then the one small one I've got there should take care of some of this. So hopefully it'll give me this kind of corner onto the edge. So we'll set things up and start the timer and go to work. How much time to do all of this sorting so far? Let's take a look here. It was just under 3 hours, so my timer's reading 2 hours, 51 minutes to get to this point so far. So let's set the camera up and put some pieces together. Finished one section, not a lot done, but it's a start. It's the continuation of that building from up there. It wasn't too bad once I sort of got my pattern together a little bit. Started on this side, found that side, the bottom, then worked my way across the middle. And you can tell this is the top part of the puzzle, as that's where the black line is. Just seem to be missing two pieces. Not sure where I threw them, but I find that when I'm sorting and you're throwing pieces from one bin to another bin, it's very easy to throw them in the wrong bin. So what I have here is I've sorted by shape my next building, which is this side here, the lighter color, not the darker yet, but the lighter color, which will attach to this piece here. So I have that sorted, ready to go. Once I get that, then that should attach to this side. So we'll work on that now. It is day 2 of section 2 on my large New York City puzzle. We are doing this lower section here, as this was section 1. And now we're doing section, well, it's not the second section, but I think it's section 5 actually, but we're doing that one because it's some continuation of the buildings above, which I had they were Had them somewhat in my head, so I thought that's what I started with first. So we've got that done. But now I'm at the same spot I was at yesterday morning, which is I'm going to have to do some more sorting. I have 3 major buckets to look at. This bucket here is sort of the miscellaneous in the middle. This one here is this blue here in the bottom. And then this one here is an extension of this building here. So I've got to decide which one of those I want to do next, do another sort, and then can carry on from there. I think I might actually take try the middle one here and then come back to this after, and then leaving this building here on the right for later. So anyway, gonna have to sit down and figure this out, look at it and do some sort of sort, and then see what I come up with, see what we can put together. The morning of day 3 of my second panel of New York City. And after day 1, we saw we had this corner up here done with the 2 different colors on this building, plus the border, which was sort of the bulk of it. I think we had this couple rows across the top done too. Yesterday we sorted this box I had with these lined pieces, this center building. I managed to do these sort of roof lines at all the different levels. That wasn't too hard. Then I started to struggle with the pieces with the black pieces with the stripes on them. So then I started digging into this stuff here through my miscellaneous, and I pulled out quite a bit and got a lot of that done. Then came back and then filled in more of the black pieces down here. So now I'm faced with, I still have about this many pieces in the black there and here. So I think I'll try to probably spend a bit of time this morning, go through, see if I can find some more of those and put a few more of those in. Then I think I'll probably push those aside and move into this bottom left corner, which is the extension of this building up here, which I've already done. So I think we'll kind of see what we can accomplish here. May actually do a little bit on the side of this building. So we'll play around with this for a while longer, and then probably break into this one. That's leaving this building here till the last.
Tell me that you're ready to go. Tell me that you're ready to go. I'll be here waiting.
Okay, I think I got as far as I can possibly get on this middle section here. I did manage to fill in all the blue that I had, the black with the lines and the blue tinge. And then I tackled this side here because of these angled windows. I didn't think they'd be too hard to do, and they weren't really. And then the pieces I had sorted in this kind of grayish stone color, I got as many in as I think is worthwhile for now. I don't want to spend too much more time playing around with that because I know I'm missing a lot of the pieces, and they'll show up as I go through other things. So now this has got to be my next task, is this big corner here. I think I think this corner here is probably best left till last. This building, as it's all going to be the same. And if I do this side first, which has, this side has a lot of the angled pieces in it, I'm able to divide out the greens and probably divide out this section here just because of the angle versus this section. I've seen a number of pieces of this, so I may be able to pull that out as well. Once I can do a bit of that, I think I can break this down a bit. Once it's broken down a bit, I think it'll be easier. Then once this is done, that will allow me to do this side and to compare piece shapes to this side as I go, which I think will really help in that building. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll do some sorting, so I don't think I'll record that, but once we get the sorting done, we'll turn her back on. Okay, I'm done sorting as much as I want to right now. I've broken things into 5 buckets, and this first one here, this is lighter color pieces here with fairly white compared to the other darker. So I'm fairly certain that all of those pieces there will fit in here. This one here is pieces that I know fit along this border here, which I said I would pull out. And this one here is a lot of green, so that should cover these windows, and some of this here. So that'll give us enough to get us sort of started, and then after that we'll probably have to do another sort. Then this bucket here are pieces that are of interest to me, which I recognize fit somewhere in here, or they don't fit in this building at all. There's a couple of them right here, so I'll pull them out and throw them in the other bucket. So we'll deal with this first, then probably the green and the windows, and then tackle this one and this one, and then probably come back and have to do another sort.
I'll be here waiting, waiting.
Today is the start of day 4. Perfect day for puzzling. It's raining. Cool, 6 degrees and raining, so perfect time to puzzle. Since yesterday, I managed to complete, or pretty much complete, all of the black and with the white lines and stuff on this major building in the middle. There's a little bit here on the right side still yet to be done. Got some of it done. These angled windows weren't too tough. This is fairly bland stuff, so I thought I would come back to that. So I started over here on this, on this building here. Pulled out the green pieces, which gave me this row here, and this corner down here. So now I've been trying to do this section here, which was lighter. I pulled out those pieces, or what I thought was those pieces, but I'm somewhat struggling with that. There's still, let's see, what do we got here? There's still this many pieces to go there, plus what I've got on the 2 boards. I have a feeling that in order to complete those, at some point I'm going to have to pull all of these out of the box and sort them by shape on the boards in order to pull this building together. I think it's just not coming otherwise, or it's coming very slow. So we'll go at it for a little bit, and if we're not making any progress, then we may have to bite the bullet, pull all of this out, sort it by shape, add to the 2 boards, and try to see what we can do about wrapping up these 2 buildings. Okay, let's set the camera up. after struggling my way through this corner, I took the pieces, I separated out these ones here for the bottom. They looked a little different, but it was still a bit of a struggle as I was missing pieces and not sure. Then I came back up here to try to tackle this again, but came to the realization that I needed to tackle what was in this box. So I've now done that. I've sorted all of my 2 ins, 2 outs, the horizontals, the verticals, and then my other shape pieces are all on here. And that should cover these 2 areas here and finish the bulk of this side. So if all goes well, I should be able to wrap up this corner right here. There's a little bit down in here, but not much. So now we'll set up the camera again and try to finish this side of the puzzle off. It is the morning of day 5 on section 2 of New York City Puzzle. Well, since we last talked, I made very good progress on this here. It took quite a while, but near the end, this lower part came together quite nicely, but I struggled with it for a while, but after a while, I had some in the wrong place. Once I figured that out, that really helped. So I'm missing a bit, so the pieces I have left on the boards should be, for the most part, what's left in here. This being the bulk of it, I will probably try to work on this, or work on it both at the same time. My goal is to try to get this area finished without taking too much time. Then I will have to break into about the last 20 rows of puzzle, which is this building right here. And that one is going to be a challenge. That's too many pieces to lay out on the board, so I'm going to have to find a way to narrow it down, get it down to a smaller amount, and see what happens from there. But I think for now, I don't want to worry about this one just yet. We'll get to that one a little bit later. So we'll push this back aside. We'll set up the camera and see if we can finish off this corner over here. All right, I managed to finish the left side of the puzzle and got all of this area through here done. A bit of a challenge, but not too bad. Still a couple pieces missing, but not concerned. They'll show up, I'm sure, along here. Well, missing one black piece, but that's very easy to miss. The other pieces, there's some dark ones. I've got some in here, but none of them seem to really be doing the trick at the moment. So rather than spend a lot of time on it, it is time to move to the right side of the puzzle. And that means we have to do this building here. And that building is in here. But if you look at that building, there's not a lot of difference in it. So it's going to be a little bit tough to figure out how to sort. If I look carefully at it, you can see that there are a number of the windows that have got a little blue trim around it. See if I can find it. Like this. So there's some with blue trim. So I'm guessing my best bet would be this whole row here has blue. And yeah, all the way down, and then there's a few more in the bottom. And as well as I can sort out these couple here with the lighter in the window there. So, and then there's this area across the bottom. So I'm going to have to go through. So I'm going to have to go through this bin, break it into some manageable amounts so that I can then come back and find a way to do it. The other thing that works in my favor is that we have repeating patterns. This row right here, which is a skinny row which goes right up the middle of the puzzle, is the center line. So if I look at this first bottom piece here, to the right of that, you can see it sort of faces to the right with an in on the left, top and bottom, and an out on the right. And if we go right over to here, yep, it actually mimics the edge piece. So we'll go over one more. If you look at this one right here, it looks like, a piece that's sort of sitting up to the right. And if we go over here, that's the same piece. I could actually take, I'll show you here, if I take, see if I can get it out without any damage. Okay, here's what we're going to do here. Okay, so now I have removed this piece. So now I will go over here and we will, rather than do that, make it difficult for myself, let's count over to this piece here where it is. We need to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more from that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more. It's right here. Okay. Take this piece out. Well, they seem to be loose going in. These Ravenberg are still locked, even in a large puzzle. They look pretty darn good. Okay, put all of this back together here. Put these back. Put these back. Now, if I take this piece here, and I remove this piece, see, I remove that piece. This piece, if I set one on top of the other, they match. This one will actually fit in there, and this one will fit in here. I'm not going to push it in because it was difficult to get out. So, what that tells me is that if I work my way over to the, let's look at the top of the puzzle. That might be easier to explain it. My narrow row is, here's my narrow row right here. So, yeah, so this is the first piece, which matches this first piece there. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So, starting with this row right here, all of the pieces I need there will match these next, probably looks like about 20 rows. We'll count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, that one is not duplicated. So the next 19 rows here, which are all complete, except for a little bit there, will be over here. So as I get further along, I can use this as a template to know what shape piece I'm looking for next. But in the meantime, I've got a lot of sorting to do, so I'll do that and then we'll turn the camera on later. Okay, my big bucket's empty. What have I done with it? Well, we sorted it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smaller bins. This one being the biggest one. This one is windows. Here, windows that have no blue trim on them, or no discerning blue trim that I could see. That seems to be the biggest bucket. This bucket here is windows with some blue trim on them. So hopefully that's these ones plus these here. And this bucket here is pieces of brick with no windows on them. I think those will probably be mostly across the top and bottom. This one here is, what is this? These are pieces which I believe go across the bottom here. And this one here is pieces of interest. Some that I know go elsewhere, some that go right along this edge, and just others that caught my eye. And these ones are windows with some color in them, which would be these couple windows up in here. So now I got some stuff to start with, so we'll all ready to start day 6 on section 2 of New York City skyline. As you can see, yesterday we got through all of the left side, filled in quite a few holes through here in the middle, and then after my original sort on the pieces for this building here on the right, take a peek here. After my original sort there, we managed to get the bottom part done. We managed to get the top part done. These are the 2 areas where there was no window, so I had those pieces separated. Got those windows with a bit of color done. Then I also went through my pieces which I had, which were deemed as edge pieces or part of window frame with building attached, and managed to kind of frame it in. So now I got a couple of sections left. And these ones here really have window on them, so I'll have to mix them in with another pile, but we're down to 2 boxes. This one has windows with blue in the frame, and this one windows without blue in the frame. So obviously I'm going to tackle the smaller box first, and if I look at the picture, that would be these windows up here plus some here in the bottom. So we're going to try that, see how it goes, and then well, I'm struggling. I tried sorting just the windows with the blue pieces and see how I would do. But the problem is I'm just missing too many pieces to complete windows and get any kind of pattern going. And it's going very slow. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to break into these, sort better, and put all of the pieces for this building on boards, sort by shape. And I think that's the only way I'm ever going to get through this building. All right, finally got it done. There's all my sort of horizontal 2 ins, 2 outs, or my sort of vertical 2 ins, 2 outs. There's my horizontal 2 ins, 2 outs. Oh, another big selection. These are all the other shape pieces, all sorted by shape and vertical, horizontal. So now we'll go back to work here and see what we can do with it. we finished off this building. And unfortunately, so far we're missing 1, 2, 3 pieces out of there. Plus we're missing a few of these other darker pieces. And then we have these black border edge along the top, down this side, and then cuts through the middle here, and a little bit down here. All of these pieces are in here. So now comes the real test. We dump it in here and see if any of my other pieces show up. So far so good. There's one. Oh, getting lucky. There's 2. Got my fingers crossed. Don't want to have to order a missing piece. Never had a piece missing yet in a puzzle of mine. A new one, that is. I'm hoping I can keep my record intact. Aha! There we are. Okay. Now, I'm assuming these others will show up as they're very similar in color. So now, there's a bit of a trick to doing this. Down here, to do this row here, now if I follow back, because this puzzle is the left side's a duplicate of the right side. So if I come from here, if I come all the way back, this line here is my middle line here. So right here. So now if I look at so this row that my finger is on, if you look at this piece here, that matches this piece there. So if I look up this row, I can find my shapes. And if you see, there's quite a number of these. Sorry, we go up this row here. The bottom is all sort of 2 ins, 2 outs. And then we hit there. Then up here we start to hit different odd shaped pieces. Yeah, this row here. And that happened in the other section too. So I should be able to find most of those. The others will be a little more challenging. If I come back this way, there's also quite a lot. Most of this bottom section on that row is also going to be the odd shaped pieces. Now, when it comes to doing this inside row and the top row, what I found last time was that the best way to do is to lay them all out and to find the duplicate pieces to make sure that you don't get any misfits, because they will all virtually be the same color. So whether they're in right or wrong will make no difference whatsoever. But I found when I did the bottom of the last section, which now I have to do the top of this section, what I did was I laid all the pieces out, found the duplicates, stacked them in pairs of 2, and then found the place and made sure, counted the rows and make sure I had them in the right places. And it seemed to work pretty good. So I think we'll go to work on that and see how we make out. Well, it's done. This is panel number 2 of my Ravensburger 32,000 piece New York City jigsaw puzzle. I don't know if you can get a good look at the whole thing. There we are. That pretty much gets it for you. 4,032 pieces. After the first one, which took me 50 hours, I think, in 13 minutes, I thought maybe I could do this one faster. I was wrong. This one took me 54 hours and 54 minutes. I thought I could do it quicker, being that I'd already done some of these buildings. So now, if we look at here, this was the first panel we did, and now this being the second panel. So if we open the whole thing up here, we have done panel A and panel E. So now the next question is, what next? I think it only makes sense that it's either going to be one of these two because they connect, as opposed to starting completely over again and doing a completely different building. So actually, it's not actually a continuation here. When you look at these buildings here, it's not quite a continuation, but a little bit different angle. Anyway, so we'll have to make that decision. But for now, we're going to close off this video. Section bag number 2, section E of New York City skyline, 32,000 piece Ravensburger puzzle. So if you like this video, give me a like, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please subscribe. And if you've got any comments, I welcome your comments, and I'll do my best to respond to all comments. So with that, we'll leave it there, and we will catch you on the next video.